The Super Bowl is set. The dynasty continues. The Patriots against the Seahawks will look ahead and back as the NFL year ends for CBS and Fox. Andrew, what is your take on Jim Nantz and Tony Romo?
Well, I think for CBS, it's a win when they're not the biggest story coming out of a game. So I think for the AFC Championship, it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. They do have an issue. The point I would make is that in 2 years, CBS has the Super Bowl. Are they going to be confident at the current level if Jim Nantz and Tony Romo are doing it? You look at this year, NBC with Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth. I think you got to be confident if you're NBC, if you don't like them or if you do like them, that they're going to do a good job. Next year, Joe Buck, Troy Aikman for ABC/ESPN. 2 years from now, if this is what we've seen this year and what we've seen the last few years is what Nantz and Romo are, I think CBS will go in nervous. And so, again, they got through the AFC Championship game. Wasn't great, but wasn't awful. So that's a win these days for them. We're also getting a Tom Brady who's soaring on the other way, who's on the way up. But that's coming up.
Man, if I could have had that assessment of my career and made $20 million a year, yeah, he's not great. He's just mediocre. But we'll pay him 18 mil. So
you got half of it, right?
Yeah. Well, that's my point.
I'm not kidding.
That's my point. I once had a baseball coach describe me as average. So that pretty much summarizes my existence.
No. You're very more than average for sure. People love you. People
Andrew.
are always like, thank God you got rid of Orand. Speaking of Orand, we'll have him after the Super Bowl. This week we have Drew Esikoff as the main event. Next week, Mike Greenberg leading to the Super Bowl. And then every week, of course, you and me on Mondays. And then after post-Super Bowl, we'll do a couple things with you, of course. And then we'll have Orand, Esikoff, Greenberg, and Orand are the upcoming podcasts. Also, I want to tell people, very exciting, February 26th, Thursday, YouTube's VP of Subscription, Christian Oslian, Off the Record with me, Andrew Marchand, presented by WSC Sports. You'll be able to sign up for that. So look forward to that next month as we get going here.
All right, looking forward to that as well. You got like a murderer's row of guests coming up. This is outstanding. All right, we'll get into Tom Brady, who you talked to last week for a long time about a big story in The Athletic, and I want to get deeper into that. It was terrific, but it is Marchand and Meterparel. Everybody loves sports media, presented by WSC Sports.
We're a twice-a-week podcast, had some great guests recently. Last week, Jay Glazer. A lot of tremendous reaction to that one. Glazer told me afterward he'd never opened up as much as he did in that podcast, and it showed. So really enjoyed that. Chris Olivero in recent weeks. Greg Hughes from NBC. Orand always with his monthlies, always good. So let's get to it.
All right, let's get to it. What is up in your world, Marchand?
My what's up is FS1's Nick Wright. And the reason it is because I thought Wright commented on the terrible tragedy in Minneapolis, and he did it thoughtfully. I think in this day and age, I'm not a huge fan of sports commentators commenting on everything, but the way he did it was really good because I didn't feel like he made it political. He just sort of spoke to people, and it was 16 minutes, very long, but I thought it was very good and well said in trying to kind of get the divide between right and left and just kind of focus on maybe some empathy, which is much needed in this world. So I thought Nick Wright hit the correct notes. So he gets my what's up.
All right, my what's up is the NFL's Sunday Countdown crew as I sat on my couch trying to put off shoveling, just watching the snow fall. I didn't go make a snowman. I didn't go sledding. So I'm thinking, all right, I have an insatiable desire for Patriot news leading up to kickoff at 3 o'clock. The show started at noon Eastern time. And one thing about the show, I've watched it a lot this year. I love the fact that I always feel like I learned something. Whether it's Adam Schefter, whether it's Rex Ryan, whether it's Alex Smith, whether it's Teddy Bruschi or Randy Moss, or you name the crew. Mike Greenberg's a terrific host. There's energy on that show. There's a lot of yucks, and there's a lot of yucks on every studio show. We've gone over that. Probably unnecessary. It seems like they have a laugh track at times. But I do feel like they're well-researched. It feels like they're having fun. Feels like they really enjoy what they're doing. That to me translates well to the viewer. It's an entertaining, in that case, on Sunday, 3 hours. So it's excellently produced, and it's well worth your time if you do have 3 hours and you don't want to shovel.
We'll get into that with Greenberg on the main event in a couple weeks, so that should be good. All right, my what's down is Jim Nantz doing the post-game podium. This is a pet peeve of mine. Nantz does the play-by-play with Romo during the game. I think that Tracy Wolfson should do it. Nate Burleson could do it. James Brown could do it. I don't know why Nantz has to go special down from the press box after doing the game to handle those festivities, especially for Wolfson. She's on the sideline all year. I feel like that's a nice responsibility. If you have confidence in her, if you're CBS, you put her there. And if you don't, she's doing interviews. I could see that. Maybe she's doing some interviews. So I'd move Burleson maybe over. He's your star of CBS, morning news, maybe not for long, according to the New York Post story, but still, he's a morning news guy. And so him handling that makes a lot of sense to me. So that's my what's down. Jim Nantz on the podium. I thought it was unneeded back with the Final Four when he used to also do the PA. I just think do the game and then let somebody else do the post game.
All right, my what's down. Stephen A. Smith on First Take, analyzing the Patriots defense and the defensive coordinator. Maybe not so much. Let's hear it.
There's a defense that Jarrett Stidham has to go up against. Yeah. There is a brother coaching that defense, Terrell Williams. We ain't mentioned him all year long. Reunited with Mike Vrabel, used to be with him in Tennessee. This man has done a hell of a job with a defense that's ranked top 5 in the National Football League. Okay, because we gonna give brothers credit on this show, and that brother's doing his thing.
Major problem here. Terrell Williams has not coached the Patriots defense all year. That is poor homework. That's poor research. Stephen A. Smith, good that he pointed out the Patriots defense has been successful, but wrong coach. Defensive coordinator right now is Zach Kerr. Terrell Williams is battling prostate cancer. It's been a storyline all season. So, this is a spot where I've said in the past, you've said in the past, some guys get stretched too thin. Stephen A. Smith's everywhere. Love the fact he's passionate. Love the fact, he's a ubiquitous presence. He's a builder at ESPN, but this is not a good spot for him. You got to know who the defensive coordinator is, or someone's going to tell you who it is. If that's where you're going, if that's a point you want to make, you got to know who's coordinating the defense.
No, don't doubt about it. All right, we're going to get deeper into Tom Brady's performance, Tony Romo's performance, what CBS maybe could do, Bob Costas returning to NBC, Elle Duncan on Netflix, UFC Paramount, a lot to get to. Twice a week podcast to subscribe, AndrewMarchand.com, AndrewMarchand.com to listen to the rest of the podcast and all our archives.